Hey YouTube, this is Uzumakihyuga. I have not said that in a long time. I'm here to do a video based on, well, it's a follow-up to my X-Seed video. Well, now we know them as XYZs. And a lot of other things came up in the world of Yu-Gi-Oh! In light of this, and I think I should talk about all of them. First, though, I'll get to the X-Seeds. First of all, I was wrong about the engine. They come from the extra deck, but it also goes to what I said in the video when I said it just makes it too easy to get them out, because now you can just take any two monsters of the same level, have them on the field, and then there's your X-Seed monster. You can literally put them in any deck you want, and it doesn't hurt them in any way or form. If you have a deck that's not meant to do anything involving synchro summoning, fusion summoning, ritual summoning, or anything like that, just a simple deck that's supposed to summon, and beat down the opponent, you can put an X-Seed monster into it. That's how easy it is to get them out. When you were doing synchro summoning, you had to add a tuner monster. You had to actually change your deck and work your way around it, and you had to figure out strategies so you could do that. But with this, just get two monsters on the field and you can do it. An interview with Yu-Gi-Oh! Creators actually said that they wanted to make the game easier for younger audiences with Zeal. That means that the cards, the card effects, and the way that deck strategies are played have all been simplified for the sake of younger kids being able to play this game. That means that all of you pro duelists, tournament goers, and anyone who's been with the game for the past 10 years have just been shafted saying, we're not going to worry about you, you've had enough time, we're going to go with the younger audience. And it also means that a lot of really simplified cards that make summoning monsters really, really easy have started coming out more and more, all for the sake of getting X-Seed monsters out. Not only that, but the ban list came out in September. Summoner Monk put at 2. Why do you think that happened? X-Seed summons. You play a Summoner Monk, discard a spell, get a level 4, you can X-Seed with them. That's what they want. Not only that, but they put a lot of limitations on cards that help with other engines, just so that X-Seeds could be more looked into. And then they also brought back Blackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning. I have a feeling they did that because, aside from the fact that they're jerks, that they actually want you to incorporate that with the XYZs, because they actually did create one that brings cards that are removed from play onto the field. That got changed to banished, by the way. Anyone who plays Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now knows that, but they changed remove from play to banished, further simplifying the game. My first impression on the XYZ monsters, since I haven't actually said that yet, I generally don't like them, because it feels like it oversimplifies the game to the point where you don't really need to think as much about what you're doing. Like the good players, the really good tournament going players, they actually have the decks that think things through and pull off all these combos. But even with that, XYZ monsters have made that so much easier. Tour Guide of the Underworld, I think it's called, a level 3 Fiend monster. It's running for about $200 to $400 now, because if you have 3 of them, it makes XYZ summoning literally basic. And there was even a ruling confusion that people thought if you XYZ with, say, Sangan, you send it to the graveyard for an XYZ effect, that you get Sangan's effect, which you don't, because it's not considered a monster anymore. I'm surprised that people actually needed to say that, but that just goes to show you that people love to take advantage of bad rulings or lack of people actually saying you can't do something. So that just means that Konami has to actually say it. But as far as XYZ as a whole, from what I've seen, they've come out with a lot of not so good cards, and then they've come out with 2 good cards. Like, Aspiring Knight Hope, Aspiring Emperor Hope, aka Utopia, and Leviathan Dragon, those two are what I would consider too powerful, like too good, because it's just too easy to get them out, and as soon as they do, they ruin your day. At least with Stardust Dragon, even though it didn't have specific materials, you needed a tuner. So you have to kind of think about how to do it. At least with some quote-unquote number of synchro monsters, you had to think about what combos you could do to do it. But with this, just play a level 4, let's say a level 4 1900 point monster, something they can't actually take out in one turn. Play any other level 4 and you have Utopia, a 2500 point monster that can negate attacks twice, and then after that it just kills itself when it's hit. No, targeted. I'm sorry, when it's targeted. So, my personal opinion, it makes things seem too easy. A lot of people have jumped on the bandwagon because we really can't not do it. It's either embrace XYZs, get used to seeing them, or don't play the game. Those are the three options right now. Basically just like synchro monsters, it was either embrace the synchro, get used to the synchro, or get away from Yu-Gi-Oh! So that's what we're dealing with XYZs. But unfortunately, it's a little bit more serious than that, because synchro monsters were an easy yet complicated way to play the game that involved people actually having to think their moves through of how can I do this, and the deck building process became how can I do this most effectively. But now the deck building process is I'll throw in a bunch of monsters that special summon other monsters and I can get X-Seeds. And unfortunately those are coming in troves now. So yeah, I don't have any X-Seed monsters on hand. I haven't bought Yu-Gi-Oh cards in a long time, but I really don't see myself getting X-Seeds even when I do get money, because I just generally don't like the engine. For the sake of putting out the X-Seeds, they've even created tins where they put cards like Pot of Duality, Solemn Warnings, Dark Simorgh, and a bunch of other really hard to get cards into these, and basically just throwing XYZ monsters at you saying, we're gonna give you these really good cards, but you have to take this as well. And people have just taken that, and a lot of people just like the idea because they want these cards. I'm not surprised that people like these cards, but I'm not going to join in them. Thanks to the Dueling Network, I've actually tried out XYZ monsters, and I will tell you, they are overpowered, especially because they get over a lot of the rulings, like level rulings, Gravity Bind, which got unlimited, by the way. They get over that because XYZs don't have levels, they have ranks. So people have the ability to make an XYZ stall deck that has 3 Gravity Binds and a level limit area B, and then just stall their way to an X-Seed, play it, and then they can attack with a 2500 point, maybe more, monster, while you can't do anything about it. So yeah, call that fair. Call that whatever you want. I just don't like it. But I guess that's all I have to say about the Yu-Gi-Oh aspect of it. Kudos to Lala Chan for the mat, by the way. I haven't described it, I haven't mentioned it yet, but this mat's pretty awesome. I also want to say that in light of Yu-Gi-Oh, what it turned into, what it's become, the fact that I don't agree with it, I also stumbled across a new card game. I don't know if anyone's heard of it. It's called Vanguard. I don't know if anyone knows anything about that. I'm gonna try and do a couple of videos about it on this channel, see what people think. I'm not gonna say too much about it until I have something on the screen to actually show you what it is, and I really don't feel like getting a screenshot of it, mostly because YouTube likes to get really pedantic about that if you don't do it right, and I really don't feel like having the patience to deal with that. But you can go ahead, comment me, tell me if you actually want to see that, if you want to hear anything about it, if you've heard anything about it. And you can go ahead and leave a comment, say anything about the XYZ monsters. I know a lot of people like them, a lot of people hate them, a lot of people say they're not going to play Yu-Gi-Oh anymore because of them and because of Zeal. And also, I apologize that I haven't actually said anything about the anime in general, but I wanted this to be more about the card game than about the anime. If you want me to make a separate video about the anime, go ahead and comment me saying that, and I will actually give a review of the anime. Again, I won't put any images or anything like that of the anime. I think anyone who wants to know about it has probably seen or looked at it enough to actually know what it looks like by now. It has about almost 30 episodes in Japan, and it just got its first English episode last Saturday as of this recording. So people know about the show. I don't know if I need to say much about the show. I just want to talk about the cards, the engine, and kind of follow up on what was being talked about last time. Because it's actually funny. I got a lot of people not really down talking me or saying anything bad per se, but a lot of people were just saying, you were wrong, this happened, and a lot of people seem to not take into the fact that the video was made before the series even came out in Japan, so I had no way of knowing much of anything about XYZs. A lot of people were making comments as if I had made it the day before they saw it. So I could also say the comments, while not being exactly helpful as far as informing me of anything, it was really interesting to read what you guys had to say as far as everything went, especially the off-topic stuff. But I'm going off-topic right now. If you guys want to leave a comment or say anything about XYZs, about Duel Monsters, about what you're doing as far as what you're doing with these cards or anything like that, feel free to do it. I encourage it. And if you want to see more videos about this, about anything else that I might be doing, I'm going to put up more Vanguard stuff, I'm going to put up more Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, probably either via the Dueling Network or the way I'm doing right now. I'm sorry if my hand is boring you, but I am going to make more videos like this. I'm going to try to stay more regular about it. So if you like what you see, then go ahead and subscribe. Like me, thumbs up, whatever you like to do. But I've said my say on this. So this is Uzumakihyuga signing out.